All right, Coach, we are going to start with a few questions for you, if you are ready. Westminster is coming off its fourth straight season with seven or more wins for the first time in 25 years, showing that the Titans can win against some top programs. What areas does this team need to improve upon to take a step forward in order to win a conference championship?
Well, we've been proud of what we've accomplished since we had an opportunity as coaching staff to take over 5 years ago. We've had some unbroken growth in the sense of every year we've set some goals and we've established that we can reach those goals. I was very excited about getting an opportunity to lead our young men 5 years ago, and I'm just as excited back then as I am right now. Winning a championship is not easy. We've got 9 other teams that are sitting in this room that have good coaches, good players, and good processes. And for us, that's where it starts, is our process. We can't change what we do or how we go about our business. We try to improve it, but we believe in what we do. We believe in our process. I think for us, we learn lessons every year, whether we're successful or in defeat. The biggest thing for us is to grow, and we've done that. Example, even last year when we played Wesley in a bowl game, I can honestly tell you Wesley was the best team, most athletic team that we've played since I've been there. And we took it as a group, as players and coaches, that we're there. We're right there with them. Actually, we felt like we gave that game away. So we're going to continue to try to do the best we can and get ourselves an opportunity to play in a championship game. It's like I said, there's no magic formula. You do what you do, you believe in what you believe in, and you work the hardest to get there. We're going to start from scratch like everybody here. We're 0-0. Nothing's going to be handed to us. We're just going to have to continue to try to put ourselves in positions to make plays and have a chance to win a championship. If that's ultimately what happens at the end, you got to have some good fortune. You got to be healthy. You've got to have good leadership. You've got to have everybody on the same page, not just from a coaching player standpoint, but from an administration standpoint. I think at Westminster we have all those things. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion, before we have an opportunity to do that. Hopefully it's this year, but it's, like I said, it's not going to be easy. So we'll continue to work hard and move forward.
Westminster returns 9 starters on offense, including the majority of your offensive line. On that line, you have 2 returning starters that have earned all PAC honors, including the young man sitting next to you. How important is it to have an offensive line as experienced as the one you have going into a season when you have such high expectations?
Well, it's no secret the game's won up front. You can't smoke and mirror, that's a term I use a lot. You have to line up and you have to impose your will, and that happens in the trenches. And you have to have guys not only that are experienced up front, because we're going to see a lot of different defensive schemes in fronts and a lot of things that are going to happen during the game. But there's also a mentality there that I like. Probably the one biggest compliment I can give our team is I wish we'd act more like our offensive line. It's a group that sticks together. It's a group that really cares about each other. It's a group that they're not on Twitter. They're not self-promoters. They're not guys that use the term I. They're always using we. And they get after it. And, the nice thing about having an experienced offensive line is we're going to have a group that can go into that first game and they kind of been through it. They understand the battles. And I'm really, really happy that we have this group coming back. But, with that, there's a lot of expectations from that group, and they've got to deliver.
Last season, Westminster boasted the league's second-best total defense, allowing just under 180 yards per game. Despite losing 6 starters on defense, you returned 4 who garnered all-conference honors last year. How pivotal a role will those returning starters play in maintaining your team's defensive prowess in 2019?
Yeah, fortunately for us, we've had a pretty good unit since we've been there. There's an expectation with our defensive football players that they're going to be a group that's going to fight you for 60 minutes, sometimes even more. That expectation is something that they take lightly. They've definitely bought into it. I've got a returning middle linebacker that's our play caller, and Paul Gonzalez, that'll certainly help with the leadership aspect of it. In the back end, we've got a couple guys that are coming back, which also helps. We've got a defensive lineman. But that group, they sort of adopt a mentality that this is how we go about our business. And so we're going to graduate great players. That's going to happen every year. Their expectation's the next guy up. And I have a high expectation, again, from that unit. And that's a unit that enjoys playing football. They really do. It's a defensive mentality, and I expect them guys to be ready to go.
Coach, I want to ask you a final question about your junior offensive tackle, Cameron, sitting next to you. What does Cameron mean to your program? And talk a little bit about his leadership, despite just being a junior on the field.
You know, everything you need to know about Cam is he's a selfless guy. He not only does it on the football field, he does it off the field as well. He's a high academic young man that takes pride in his academics. The minute we got Cam here, we were excited about it because we knew the type of person we were getting. He helps us in the community. He helps us anytime we need somebody to step up. Cam is one of the first guys to do that. He's on our leadership council. He takes a very active role in that. He's a great mentor. He's a really good human being. And last year, in fairness to him, he was hurt a lot. I mean, he got hurt early in our camp and our scrimmage, and I don't know if he was even healthy the whole year. Didn't hear much from him about it, didn't complain about it. He just went about his business and tried to do the best he could. I know for him personally, his off-season was fantastic. In the weight room, he was literally a man among boys at times, and that's going to pay off for him, and you're going to see a healthier Cam Micah this year, and that's going to be a good thing for us.
Coach, thank you. Cameron, a few questions for you now. Make sure there's that mic on.
Check. Does it work?
Yep.
Yep, yeah. It works.
Let's get that out of the way first. Cam, you've been a part of 2 straight 7-win seasons, including an ECAC Bowl appearance at Westminster last season. What goals as a team are you helping set in order to achieve this continued success we're hearing so much about in 2019?
I think the biggest goal for this year is to win the conference championship. I mean, that should be every team's goal coming out. One of the biggest things we have to be is just not content. It's been 2 past 7-win seasons. 7-win seasons are great, but 7-win seasons don't get you a ring in this conference. We know this conference is tough. You need to win almost every game if you're going to win this conference. And this year, I think the mentality has shifted from even my freshman year till now, and this year's business for us.
You were a part of an offensive line that helped generate over 325 yards per game last season. With 4 starting offensive linemen back, what are your expectations for the line and how that line will function as a group given your collective experience?
Experience is huge. I mean, that's one of the big intangibles that you can't just have. Having 4 guys that have been playing in big games. We had many different games we played in last year, getting to see that experience. And I know as a unit, those guys, they're my brothers. I mean, I'd do anything for them, they'd do anything for me, and I think it shows on Saturdays, and even this past off-season has been huge for us. That's the closest I've ever been with a group of guys is this past off-season. I'm looking forward to this season, getting back up, being there with them.
While you earned all PAC honors last season, you also have earned PAC Academic Honor Roll accolades in each of your first 2 seasons. How important is it to you to not only maintain being one of the top offensive linemen in the league, but also one of the top athletes academically?
Yeah, athletic accomplishments are great. I mean, it's nice to see all the work you put in the off season and behind the scenes that nobody really gets to see. It's great to get awards for that, but I mean, academics, I know it's cliche, but it does come first. Academics is huge. I mean, I have 2 more years of football, and then I have to go get a job. I need something to rely on and something that I can build off of to get a job and support myself off of. And it's great to get athletic accomplishments. Those are huge. It's awesome to get, but academics is top priority.
Cam, final question for you. Coach Benzel selected you today as the player representative, like we mentioned earlier, despite being just a junior. How has the culture that Coach Benzel has established for Westminster football impacted your progression as a player and as an individual?
I think as a player, I mean, coming in out of high school, wasn't really developed as much, still like a young kid. And just the mentality that Coach Benzel has, he'll turn you into a man. It's hard-nosed. We're getting after it. We don't like to lose. It's clear as day. He instills that in us from day one. We're not here to lose football games. We're here to win. And as a player, he's just getting to talk to Coach over time and just helping me with different situations that I've been through. It just helped me to see there's more to life than football too. Seeing like the family aspect and he always talks about different aspects of your life. It's not just football. You have to focus on your social, spiritual, and your family, and that strikes home to me too.
Cameron, Coach Benzel, thank you guys. Westminster is scheduled to get its season underway Thursday, September 5th at home against Capital University, which I think is the first Division III football game this year. Good luck. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Cam.